Hello and welcome to the 180th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by other host, Jordan.
That's me, baby.
As him. Jordan, we got to remind the people.
Remind the people. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed, all linked below. YouTube and Spotify have a video platform where you can see our beautiful mugs and extra content that will be released soon on YouTube only. There's also Instagram, TikTok. You can contact us there. And also via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, death threats, and most importantly, little kitty bit city stuff. And most importantly, after this new project comes out, reach out to us there about how amazing it is and how it's the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, if you're seeing this, it's either out today as you watch it, or it was out like a day ago.
Yeah. Which means we can probably talk about it a little bit without really selling the whole thing, because I don't want to spoil it either.
I will do we could do a debrief next time.
Okay.
We'll just leave it up to everyone.
Just know it's out. Go
watch it. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. We did a little deliberating today on the final cut.
Yeah, we were on the editing room floor. We were deliberating. We were going over the rough cut.
I had the glasses.
I gotta dial her in.
Yeah, I had the glasses, the hat, I had the whole pencil, the whole 9 yards. I was drawing up storyboards.
We were drawing storyboards.
Yeah.
I was on the big machine running the film through it and cutting it manually.
Yep. Makes sense.
We watched the rough cuts that I made. That's what we did. And then we made our commentary.
Yeah. And then I immediately berated Chris for 4 hours about how terrible the video was and how it was awful, and he didn't edit it at all, and he put up all 40 hours of footage unedited, and I was upset about it.
Yeah, it's actually like a full cut of every single clip we took.
Yeah. We call it the director's cut.
It's the director's cut where we upload all of the footage in a completely random order, and you have to piece together. It's a choose your own adventure.
It's literally just whatever uploaded first.
You gotta piece the video together yourself.
Yeah. So if you just put 10 hours of editing into this video, you'll be able to see what our vision was.
Yeah. But it's like we're giving you a block of marble.
Yeah.
You know?
Do with it as you please.
You gotta find the statue inside there.
No, it's like a 4-minute video. So
yeah,
which
it'll
is
be short.
Which is our proudest achievement, I think, is that we were able to do something somewhat compelling in 4 minutes, because we are usually dog water at everything we do.
Yeah.
So
that all being said, I gotta put something on the record before I say what I'm about to say.
Oh boy.
I gotta put something on the record. I am 23. 23. I'm a young man.
Yeah, we both are, yeah.
23. Keep that in mind when I say what I'm about to say. Last weekend, I was working on my truck, and I'm pretty sure, no word of a lie, I'm pretty sure I actually for real threw out my back.
What were you doing on the truck?
I was ripping an exhaust out, and my back has been fucked up for the whole week. And I was looking into it. I was like, did I throw out my fucking back? I'm old now.
And you're done.
I'm cooked.
So this is not only our first good video in a while, it's our last one forever.
So last one forever because I'm having the bottom 5 vertebrae of my spine removed.
I'm sending Chris to a fucking old person home.
Yeah, I gotta put me in hospice. Put me some end of life care.
Yeah.
So what happens now is this, right? I'll be sitting down, and then I will stand up, and then it flares up. So when you throw out your back, it's like a muscle thing that's going on, where your muscle's spasming and causing pain. And it's super noticeable if I'm sitting and then I stand up, I'll go to upright myself, walk bipedally like a human does. And I'll get and then I'll stand up straight finally, and it'll hurt, and then I'll go for a minute, and then it'll stop happening, and then I can walk.
Yeah, you're having a spasm of some sort.
It's not super debilitating, but it sucks.
Have you tried the icy hot or biofreeze?
I put ice on it. And I didn't have any real adequate ice packs, but I'm gonna be picking up some icy hot.
So I might be mistaken on this, so don't quote me. But with muscles, ice isn't usually the go-to. It's hot. It's heat. You get more blood flow to the area.
icy hot though.
Yeah. Well, icy hot's just lidocaine. It's just a fucking steroid. You're just sticking in there and it's like, oh yeah. But yeah, usually
At this point, just give me fentanyl.
Dude, a fucking dab, you'll never feel pain again.
Just give me straight fentanyl. It'll get rid of the pain for the rest of my life, which will be 3
Very
minutes.
short. Yeah. Very short remainder of life.
But yeah, that's what's new with me. I'm not happy about it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that sucks.
My range of motion is greatly affected. But it's only when I do things that I never do, like clean myself in the shower, or like stand up too fast.
Oh, standing up and cleaning? That's
Or
two things.
get out of bed.
Oh, you don't do that either. Yeah.
Like, it's just things I never do.
Or like get out of the car, I assume. Similar vibe?
In the car, it's not as bad. In the car, I could be I run my heated seats. Try to get some warm in there.
Get some warm. What about when you get out of the car, though? Is that rough, or that's been good?
That's been fine, I think.
That's good.
But I know these chairs are totally going to bungle it for me.
Yeah. I mean, we can do a standing episode if you want.
No, I'll be fine. I'll live.
Chris is going to be sitting here for 2 weeks until I come back to record, just sitting in the same spot that I can't move. I literally can't move.
I can.
He's been door dashing food to the basement.
Yeah, I have the DoorDasher come into the house and bring it all the way down here.
Chris you're going to literally be the guy from The Witcher we were talking about. The fat troll who's like stealing the god.
The all god?
All god,
I'm gonna be him. But having not learned anything, I'm going to be doing more work to my truck this weekend. Because here's what's happened. So as you may know, I think you know, but I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I definitely know.
I think where at the manifold, at the exhaust manifold, alright, so you get your manifold comes down, it bolts to the catalytic converter assembly that goes
flange,
down, and then it links to the rest of the exhaust. It's not like 2 independent pipes, which I thought it would be, but it's not. Mm-hmm. And it goes down and links with the rest of the exhaust. And the flange that's all the way up here that meets with the manifold just broke off right at the flange. So the 2 flanges, very much still attached to each other.
The cat behind it.
The cat behind it, off. So I was running just straight open headers. So it was loud.
Yeah.
Loud. And I'm like, I thought about this a lot. Because I'm like, it's an old truck. It's an old truck, and it's old enough to where, like, I don't need to worry about emissions. So I'm not putting another fucking catalytic converter on this thing. I'm not going to spend, because the whole assembly to get one is like $1,500. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But because there are some regulations regarding emissions, federally, you can't really advertise that you're bypassing emissions equipment to like an exhaust shop or something. Like if I went to get something fabricated, just a pipe to put there, I was like, yeah, I need something in this shape, and I bring them catalytic converters, they won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I was on the old computer machine, and I loaded up eBay, and I was like, what does eBay got? Because eBay has shit. Always.
Yeah.
And if you want the bottom barrel of components for your vehicle, or anything, frankly, eBay's your guy.
Yeah.
And eBay was selling the assembly, the catalytic converter assembly, which God only fucking knows if there's even catalytic converter material in those things. It looks like catalytic converters, but I don't think they are.
Yeah.
But that was $200. So I was like, it's gonna cost me about that to like fab something up anyway. So
and
I
you
just
have to
bought
deal
this.
With it. Yeah, you have to deal with the whole. Hey, this isn't to bypass this.
Exactly. I would have to find someone who's willing to do it. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy this. So last weekend was Operation Remove the Old One, which was a 2-day affair.
Really? Yeah, that bad?
So day one was me under the truck with one the end that connects to the manifold doing this. Oh, and breaking the rust-covered exhaust clamp that I have a replacement for, but the rust-covered exhaust clamp that bolts on the other side, because it was rusted, like the bolt was rusted off, so it was broken anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
So I broke that, and then I was trying to get this damn thing out, and it just wouldn't go. So my dad came up with a suggestion. He said, take a rag and soak a rag in the rust removal shit, and then just wrap it around that joint so it'll break that rust. So that was day one. Wasn't a super eventful day. Day two was me doing more of the same under the truck, but then I actually got the thing out. I properly removed my O2 sensor, of course. Saved it for later, put it in my pocket. It's not still attached to the original exhaust. Definitely not. I would never bypass emissions equipment.
Boy.
So we get the actual exhaust off, and now we have to get the little flangey
Off the manifold, yeah.
The manifold. So you would think, bolt, cool. It looks like originally there's supposed to be like bolts that thread into the manifold and then go down, and it's just one assembly. But these ones, I don't know if someone was messing with it beforehand, which is very possible. Got the bolts into it and like fucked them up somehow and then just welded them in, or if it was just how that came from the factory and some information I got is inaccurate. So there's just two studs down. So we were just like, oh fuck, well we can't do much about this because the other side is all like welded together, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well fuck. So we just cut the thing off. So we got the little flange off. And now I have just two like half studs sitting there. And they make a little kit. It's a little assembly you can get that goes on the side of the flange. It's two little clamps, little rectangular clamps with posts on them. And they go on the side of the flange and bolt into the new exhaust components. So I got a set of those. But the ones I ordered, I didn't try them yet, but I'm pretty sure they're the wrong ones. But I have on order now what I'm pretty sure are the right ones. But I haven't even tried the first ones yet. But I wanted to have the other ones. So that way I'll just return whichever ones were the wrong ones.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at now. Once I get that whole kerfuffle over with, which should be very soon, then it's the easy stuff.
Yeah.
It's brake calipers, tires, and that's it.
Yeah. What's the deal with the clutch on that truck?
I have no idea.
I don't say, because I know the clutch was kind of shitty, but you might want to look into if it's just like a master or slave cylinder problem.
I'm just going to use it until it goes.
So a week or so.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully it just keeps kicking. I mean, it's an old Ford, so it's decent.
We'll see what
Not
happens.
a new one.
We'll see what happens. But
Damn.
that's my plans.
Damn.
And still upset about this whole back situation. I thought I had maybe another like 10 years before I started getting to these problems, but who knows?
Oh, my back.
I just think, maybe I should just kill myself now, Maybe they should just shuffle me into the grave at this point.
You really want me to leave that on there?
Already
Just
like-
you saying that?
I'm already like 80 years old.
Oh my fucking
I'm
God.
so fucking mad. I'm so mad about this situation. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, Jordan.
I know.
I'm 23. I'm 23. Shuffle me into the old folks' home, dude.
I thought I was bad with like the tendonitis and shit.
Yeah, my tendons have remained woefully intact.
No itis of the tendon.
They are regretfully intact. Like, I can feel every so often that either I got some tendon whatever or my carpals are getting tunneled or whatever. But I just will it to go away and it goes away. But I can't do that with this problem, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
So I'm going to handle it like I handle most of my other medical issues. I'm just going to ignore them until they go away.
Yeah. Or get so debilitating that you're hospitalized.
Yeah, that's my two things. And I hate looking up anything that any condition that you have. So you're like, this is the symptoms I'm dealing with. And WebMD's like, it could be cancer.
So
well, I don't think it's that. Number one.
So WebMD, I stubbed my toe and now it's a little purple. Yeah, you're dying actually. That's a hematoma in your brain somehow turning your toe purple. Don't worry about it.
I actually stubbed my toe last week. It still kind of hurts. WebMD, what should I do? Well, you died last week actually when you stubbed your toe.
Yeah, that was your final action.
But I hate Googling any time you have any sort of fucking, because it always leads to this to being like, it could be super mega cancer.
Yeah.
Or it could be like you just got a little ouchy. You just got a little ouchy for a little while.
Yeah, it's almost like there's like tools and instruments and trained professionals who are responsible for weeding out that bullshit.
Or they're like, hey, oh, you have a pain in your back? Have you considered your kidneys exploded?
Yeah.
Like, no, I really don't think that happened. I feel like there would be a little more going on.
Be a little more pissy blood if I had to guess.
I feel like there'd be a little more going on if I had bone cancer or my kidneys failed. I think I would have a little more of an issue.
A little more of a premonition of what's to come, you know?
Like, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
So that's my life now. I'm an old man now.
Happens. I mean, yeah, it happens. So I've had a lot less eventful medically few weeks. So obviously we did our trip. We recorded on our trip. And that recording is still haunting to this day. We look rather haunting in the hotel. So I think that surpasses Maine for the level of haunting.
It was very dungeness.
Yeah. But
in Maine, if I'm not mistaken, we had our lights.
We didn't even have these lights back then.
Oh, we didn't?
We didn't even have them at all. So Maine is probably like more haunting, but I think the low camera quality somehow made it better. But because we have such a high quality camera, we looked more haunting.
Yeah.
So that was kind of I think the problem with this one. But yeah, after that, went home, lived my life, living like Larry, doing my thing. Started playing more retro games, and then a newer game that I'll get into. Have you ever heard of Kane and Lynch on like the PS3?
No.
So Kane and Lynch is like this weird game about two guys, Kane and Lynch, and how they're like part of like basically not a cult but a cartel, essentially criminal empire.
Right.
And they try to basically kill that empire because of some events that happen. And like I always heard my whole childhood, like people that are like millennials, like my brother, being like, man, those games are fucking awesome. There's two of them. There's Kane and Lynch Dead Men, and then there's Dog Days, not 40 Days. I'm thinking of Army of Two. There's Dog Days. And everyone's always like, these games are pretty good, but they reviewed mid or whatever. And I'm like, expecting I'm going to play this PS3 game. And it's going to be like a Ubisoft experience where I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Whatever.
Right.
And I play this game, and graphically, I think it might be the worst PS3 game I've ever played, graphically.
Right.
But I'm not someone who usually faults for graphics that hard. I mean, I play most of my AAA games on a fucking Steam Deck, so, like, who am I to complain? And then you play the game, and I'm just like, this is the most dog shit game I've ever played.
I was going to say, like, if everyone's like, oh, this was the best back in the day, and it has, like, middling reviews, it's going to be shit ass.
Dude, it is hands down. Like, I'm sorry if you like Kane and Lynch, but I haven't played Dog Days because I literally almost snapped the disc. Like, I got so angry at how shit this game is and how terribly everything controls and plays and looks and the story and
Bro
like.
got so pissed he almost broke the disc.
I took the disc out. I grabbed it like full palm and I squeezed it and bent it in half and then it didn't like shatter. So I let it go and it went back to its original shape. I was like, "Fuck this thing, dude."
Now when you put it back in the PlayStation, it's gonna be bent.
I was like,
the whole
fuck.
game. The whole game, the graphics are gonna be bent.
I don't even plan on putting it back in. I threw it back in the case. I twisted the case like in half as well, and then threw it in like a drawer with all my shit. I was like, "Fuck this game. I'm fucking done with it. It's so shit. It's so stupid."
Bro.
The voice acting is like passable at best. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. But the gameplay is fucking abysmal. Fucking abysmal. I hate it. I hate that game.
Bro,
Like,
had beef with that game,
like
bro.
Kane and Lynch I was like, I'm gonna like this game. Like everyone talked about it. I'm gonna fucking love it. Like it's up my alley. It's a third person shooter and I play it and it's just fucking terrible. Like it has so many like little quirks that annoy you. Like
Right.
one of the biggest ones for me is like if I'm gonna die in a game, just kill me, hit me with the reload screen, reload my save, go again, right? This game has a mechanic where you have all your allies and you'll go down and your character will go on the ground and it'll start playing like things that have happened in his life, like basically life flashing before his eyes. And then the person will run over and they'll inject adrenaline and you'll get up.
Right.
At first, I'm like, that's kind of neat. I kind of like that. I fuck with that. And then they introduced the mechanic that if you go down like twice in a row, the second time that'll happen, and then they'll inject you with adrenaline, and you'll just overdose and die. So, if you die in this game, you have to wait like 30 fucking seconds for your character to be on the ground going, "Ah," and then the allies to be like, "I got you, Kane. I got you. Hang on, I'm coming."
There's no give up option.
There's no give up option. The best you can do is just reload a checkpoint, like from the pause menu. Like, this is fucking stupid. Like, it's fucking dumb. And then, this was the second frustration. So that was one frustration. But I was like, you know what? I can get by that. I'll play it safe. I'll play slow. I won't die as much. Like, I'll stop being as aggressive because then I don't have to worry about that. Or I'll just reload the save. And then they have the audacity to have your allies be teammates that can die. That if you don't save them in time, you fail. And these fucking dumbass, stupid, idiot, fucking Neanderthal-esque AI of 2006 or 8, whatever the fuck it is. They're just like, let me run towards the tank. Hang on.
What is this, bullets? Let me catch him with my skull.
They get fucking magnetized to every tank that you encounter, and they just get eviscerated, and then you go to revive them, and it's not like walk up, like Saints Row, walk up, hit a button, and you pour liquor on him and walk away. It's like you walk up, you hit the button, and he does this fucking dumbass bullshit animation of like, huh. All right, they're up, and the whole time you're getting eviscerated.
The whole animation is like you pick them up, you give them a warm hug, you give them a little kiss on the mouth.
Yeah, you read them a fucking bedtime
You
story.
read them a bedtime story, you tuck them in.
Like, yeah, animation's like fucking just terrible. The controls, by the way, terrible, because the game tells you there's no button to get in cover. Just stand there, cover, and he'll get in cover. And then he just never gets in cover. And then if you're not in cover, they can technically shoot through the cover. But if you're in cover, they can't. So, like,
great,
you'll hide out. Like, I'm fucking, and this is the last part that, like, broke me, that made me almost snap the disc, is I'm fighting this fucking military. It's like my 8th try at this. I'm behind cover, and my dumb ass fucking Neanderthal AI teammate runs up, takes cover on me, which pushes me out of cover, and I get eviscerated. And then he revives me. I stand up. You get, like, 2 seconds of immunity. I'm like, all right, let me find cover. I get to cover. And then they just shoot me through the cover and I die anyway. And I'm like, I'm done. Like,
right.
I've never yeeted a disc so hard. I fucking crunched it and then just fucking frisbeed it right into the wall. I'm like, I'm so pissed right now.
It's like I feel like there's a reason that other games don't handle your AI companions like that.
Yeah. And for anyone in the fucking comments who wants to say, well, I played Kane and Lynch in 2008, and you can hit triangle to tell them where to go. It doesn't work. I will tell them, go there, and they're like, I don't know where to go. Like, they'll run towards the cover, and then, like, an enemy will aggro them, and they'll just stand in the middle of the field shooting for 40 seconds until they get annihilated. They don't get in cover. There's a defend button, Chris. There's a button. Square. You tell them to defend. You hit that button expecting them to take cover. No, they just stand still in place. That's not defense. That's dumbassery. That's what that is.
Imagine playing God of War, and then like in the first fight that you get into, Atreus puts his head on a log and lets the enemy cut his head off.
Yeah,
that's what that sounds like.
It's like imagine God of War where Atreus was like a killable NPC that you'd have to revive, but they scaled him properly so he runs up to Baldur and just gets one-shotted every time. He's like, Baldur, I'll kill you, and then just gets uppercutted, clean head off, dead instantly.
He looks like a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Yeah, like limbs and everything all spread out.
His
Yeah.
fucking head just goes bing.
Yeah, every time. Like it's a lore accurate Atreus where he like goes up against Madney and Modi and gets electrocuted violently to death. Like
he gets hit and his heart explodes.
Like yeah, that would be like the closest fucking comparison. Like I don't know, dude. It's just
I think Fallout 4 handled like NPC companions in a great way, where they can go down, but also doesn't matter. You can go and heal them, but they'll find their own way back if you don't.
Yeah.
And like Skyrim was worrying, like they kind of did that where your companions were entirely killable, like they weren't essential, so they could just. That happened to me when I was like my little 12-year-old ass was playing fucking Skyrim on the Xbox 360, and I'm adventuring with Lydia, and I'm picking a fight with some giants, and she has all my stuff on her. And she gets launched to the moon.
Oh, because the giant smash was bugged, right? They go flying.
Yeah, she gets launched to the fucking moon, and all my stuff is gone, and my companion is dead. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's fair. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, like imagine if you were playing Red Dead 2, and you're like, we're gonna rob the bank.
And Dutch shot himself while he was robbing the bank.
We're gonna rob the bank. Me, Bill, Karen, and what's the other girl you take with? Is it Tilly that you take with her?
No.
Or Molly?
Who do you take with you to that bank? I think it's just
Bill, Karen, you. There's one more person.
Fuck.
I think it is Molly.
No, because she's just in camp being a bitch.
Oh, Lenny. Arthur, Bill, Lenny, and Karen. That's what it is.
I was gonna say, was it Lenny? I was gonna say Lenny or Charles.
Yeah, it's Lenny. I fucking love Lenny. But yeah, imagine you just take them there, and Karen's like, "Hang on, I'm gonna put on a show," and she goes through the door to it, literally like a cutscene, and they just don't buy it, and she walks out of the bank like, and it's just like, mission failed. Karen failed. It's like I didn't tell the AI to fail.
They didn't buy it.
Like, fuck, man. Like that's how this game was, dude. Fucking Kane and Lynch. They have the second one called Dod Days. I should just call it Dod Shit. Like I don't know. I might skip and just play the second one just to see if it's actually a coherent and good game, unlike the first one. So we'll see. But from what I heard, it reviewed worse. That's why there's only 2 and not 3. So,
I see.
That's usually how that goes.
So it's sounds like it's a bit Kane and shit.
Yeah. But I will say, I did start playing something else around that same time, and this was a game that I have put off for years. Okay. I was like, this game is going to be dog shit, in my opinion, in terms of my preferences for game. Like, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be enjoyable. And then I just, like, randomly saw a clip of it. And this game has vibes, man. Like, it just has vibes in the gameplay. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I kind of fuck with the vibes, though. So maybe I'll play it for the vibes.
All right.
And then the game went on sale, in the summer sale. And I bought it for $20. Started playing it. Steam Deck verified. And I'm like, man, this story, while it's weird and zany and fucky, is so fucking good. These characters are so good. It's a little game, not very well known as Death Stranding. It's not very popular. Not many people have played it.
Yeah, that short little indie game.
Yeah, short little indie game. Not many people have played. It's made by that guy who's like not very famous, but he made Metal Gear Solid, like another very unpopular game.
So I understand what you're saying where there's the vibe. I have Death Stranding. I think I got it for free at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't compel myself to play it because I remember hearing the story was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like just a bunch of fucking shit you have to do between actual story points where you're just Norman Reedus is stomping around a fucking mountain for 35 hours.
So here's the thing, though, is like, it's like that, but it's not. It's not, because there's also like enough happening to keep it interesting, like in the world. So yes, at the core of it, the gameplay loop, generally speaking, is this. You walk up to a distribution center, they go, "Hey Sam, so-and-so needs to get added to the Chiral network. Bring them this package and use your Cupid to get them on the Chiral network." And then you go on a long, arduous journey. But on that journey...
You go, hey, Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead. Hey, Daryl from The Walking Dead. That's what they call him. Daryl from The Walking Dead. Please come here. I got this
Norman
box.
Dixon.
I got this Amazon package you have to deliver, Daryl from The Walking Dead. You have to deliver this Amazon package on foot across the fucking Mount Everest.
Yeah. So
You gotta deliver this across the Himalayas. One of the Sherpas that brings tourists up to the mountain, he's stuck on the mountain, and he needs a rope from Amazon to climb down the mountain. So you got to deliver it to him. Do you got it, Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead?
So that's kind of the thing, though, is like that's the general flow of it, and then you set out on this journey, and it's really not that far. And if you just play it in a smart way, you can fly through it. Like you just equip the right gear, and you fly through it with little challenge. And if you play it now, because it's an online game in the sense that people's structures are active in your world, a lot of times you'll go to journey somewhere and you're like, fuck, how am I going to get up to that mountain? And there's already like 10 ladders from other players that you just take and you just go. So shit like that happens all the time. But like the game starts off like that, very slow, where you are on foot for most of it. But then the instant that it opens up to like a bigger trek, you just get a car or a bike. And then, yeah, the bike has battery and it has stats and stuff you have to manage. But, like, there's enough interesting shit going on. And the vibes are really good that, like, it's fucking incredible.
And let's also, in my criticism, completely ignore the fact that one of the games that I put a lot of time into is a game where you pick up, like, metal and concrete blocks and wood and shit and drive it through an off-road map.
For, like, literally
hours.
Yeah.
Just ignore that entirely.
Yeah. But, and then obviously the characters and shit are good and the story's really weird and zany, but like also there's just some fucking fun moments that happen throughout. Like I ended up getting what's called the speed skeleton. You can get like an exoskeleton and there's different classes. There's power.
I'm picturing just like his walking animation, but sped up. So he's just like
yeah, so there's the speed skeleton, there's a power skeleton, and then there is a all-terrain skeleton, which helps with like heights and shit.
Oh, it's got like big knobby tires on it.
Basically, yeah. And with the speed skeleton, you just run fast as fuck. Like it's so fun. And one of the moves you have is a drop kick. So you run, you jump, and you hit the attack button. He just is like a slow-mo, awesome drop kick that just lays any motherfucker out.
Okay.
So I got surrounded in a field, right? I'm like walking. The fucking radar goes off, like mules are coming, which is basically like what they've described them as packaged junkies. These are people who are addicted to cargo. Like they're just addicted to having shit. That's like plot-wise what they're described
They're hoarders.
as. It's fucking weird. So they just want your cargo, right? So you can actually be running and just drop your cargo and let them take it, or you can fight them. So obviously I'm fighting them. So you get like different weapons. In the beginning, you get like a lot of passive weapons. Like you get a taser, you get a bola gun where you shoot cords that wrap them up and shit. And then you have your fists. So later in the game, you start to get like AKs, pistols, shotguns. But it really heavily like plot-wise tells you like you probably shouldn't use these. So I haven't even tried them yet outside of needed moments. But for the longest time, my strategy was I would lure them into a field. I would just start wrapping them all up with the cargo gun and then run and steal their shit. But one time I'm running and I just get fucking eviscerated in the back of the head with an electric rod that drops all my cargo. And the guy starts picking up my cargo and I just run 10 feet away, U-turn, run, jump, and dolphin kick him fucking flying. And then I just start picking up my cargo as he's all twisted and mangled on the ground.
These pirate people, they show up and they're like, Daryl Dixon, I need that Over the Hedge DVD that you're delivering on Amazon right now. I need that copy of Over the Hedge to add to my collection of sealed copies of Over the Hedge DVDs.
And then, so then there's also the different cargo. So it's not always just like pick up package, go walking. You get fragile cargo, you get always flat cargo. Like you genuinely have to deliver a pizza at some point in the game, and it has to stay flat. So you have to use either like a carrier or a car.
They literally put in the Krusty Krab pizza episode.
Yeah. And then there's one where you get handed a box and like you're just like bringing this cargo, like, yeah, no big deal. And then you finally get it to the destination and it's a fucking nuclear bomb. And then you're like, oh shit, and you got to dispose of it.
Oh,
like,
goddamn.
There's crazy shit like that happens. Like the game is genuinely fucking amazing. Like I say this as someone who that game came out, I had not a even facet of interest. And I was like, yeah, whatever, Death Stranding, bullshit. I saw the trailer for 2, I was like, yeah, it looks like more bullshit, I don't care. It looks like more Kojima bullshit, couldn't care less. And then what happens is I go through these phases, and the best way I can describe them, Chris, this is how I described it to my brother. Do you ever just have a moment in time where you want to play a game where you're just a big chunky dude, like Red Dead, or another one for me is almost like The Witcher, but he's not quite chunky, but like a big dude where you're just fucking shit up.
I'm a big chunky dude all the time, just in general.
So that's my thing, is I go through phases where I want like these heavy, like gritty, controls-wise games, like Red Dead. And Death Stranding looked like that, and that's what got me in the door.
It was, I think I see what you're saying, where I get a digital bloodlust.
Really?
Where I'm like, I need to fulfill a specific scenario I have in mind, where I just need to be an all-powerful sort of demonic entity.
Causing absolute chaos.
Yeah, like that's how I played Sons of the Forest. That's how I played Cyberpunk. That's to some degree how I play 7 Days.
You did Fallout.
That's how I played Fallout last time.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, it's probably a very similar vibe for me. I just like think of like the way Arthur Morgan controls like that big like as you're walking around. I guess the other term I used was, I said a big chunky third person guy. The other one was The Last of Us. That's what it was. I was trying to think of the name of the game that I gave my brother as an example. The Last of Us 1, not so much 2, but 1, where you just play as this big dude, you get into fights, and you just start fucking mashing people. Like, you just beat the shit out of them. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. And, like, Death Stranding kind of looked like that, because I just saw a clip somewhere of, like, a guy drop kicking someone, and I was like, that looks sick. And then he's just, like, he was hiking through, like, a mountain with a backpack. I'm like, that looks cool. And that's what got me in the door. And then the story, I don't know, it's got me hooked. Like, the story has got me hooked. So
it might be worth going back to play.
Yeah. The only part that's slightly disappointing about the game is that I saw the trailer for 2 before ever playing 1, and the main villain of 1 is in the trailer for 2. So I know like that plot line's not going to get resolved, or maybe it will, and they'll find some way to bring that dude back. But like, to what I can tell, it looks like this game might have ended very open. And that was not like a criticism at the time, but like a thing people talked about in the hopes a sequel would get made. So it's got the Kojima special. That's what they do.
It was Daryl, I'm still alive. Daryl from The Walking Dead, I'm still alive, actually. I know you shot and killed me. You shot me 37 times in the abdomen in the last game. And I said, and I quote, oh, my bones and organs, I think I'm dead now. But I came back.
Yeah, that's when I heard the game ends with Daryl walking. He goes, "Man, I'm fucking out here walking dead, man.
I'm the Walking Dead right now."
It's also crazy that it is a walking game about this realm of dead people. That's like kind of the funny thing, is that the enemies, not the like human ones that are trying to steer a cargo, but the other type of enemies that are invisible are just people on the other side of the veil. They're just dead people.
I see.
So he is literally walking through the dead.
He goes, "Man, I wish I had a crossbow right now."
Yeah, he's also like a comically good and bad actor at the same time. Like, it's got to be for his character. They must have just been like, hey, Norman, do the Norman. Because he's just basically Daryl. He's just like, fucking enemies. Fuck. Damn.
That's it. I wish I had a crossbow right now.
Dude, if they have a crossbow in this game, that'd be hysterical. I haven't found one yet. So
I remember playing very distinctly. They had
Survival Instinct.
Is that what that game was
I have
called?
it. I bought
Walking
it for PS3.
Dead Survival Instinct?
Uh-huh.
The game was such dog shit.
It was fun, but it was bad, yeah. I have it for PS3. I bought it like
It was
a month
such
ago.
shit.
Yep. That game was fun because the actual combat with the zombies was decent for the time, before we had things like what's the other first person zombie game that's popular?
Dead Island?
Dead Island, yes, sorry. Dead Island 2 and, like, Dying Light. That was the one I was thinking of, was Dying Light. Before we had zombie games like that. It was pretty good. But
And for some reason, I don't know if this is true, but I remember the sound quality of the voice acting being extraordinarily low in that game.
yeah, the mix was bad. Like, the volume and shit.
It sounded like it was coming out of it sounded like it was coming out of like little piezo speakers.
Remember, the Apple earbuds with the little mic? Some of them sounded
Yeah, it sounded like they were
terrible.
being recorded.
He was singing it. He was saying it like in the car while driving to work one day. He's like, "Oh no, zombie! Whoa!"
He goes, "I'm Daryl Dixon. I'm currently driving to film The Walking Dead season 4, and I'm yelling into my Apple EarPods microphone my lines right now. Hi, it's me, Daryl. I'm going to kill the zombie."
He finishes the line, but they forget to cut the audio, so you just hear him breathing on the mic, like the crackly sound.
I'm gonna kill the zombie.
You hear him talking like he's ordering Starbucks in the background.
Hey, it's me, Daryl. Yeah, can I just get a large iced, 2 sugar, 4 cream? Can I just get you guys have everything bagels, right? Could I just get one of those extra cream cheese? Yeah, that'll be it. Thank you. Anyway, I'm Daryl Dixon.
But what I remember about that game being the coolest part, at least as a fucking 10-year-old when it came out, was you had a story, you had a linear story, but the way you got there was different every time because you had a car, and that car had a limited gas gauge. You'd have to stop and find gas, and it had random encounters, almost like D&D, where you'd be driving, and you'd be like, "Oh no, you blew a tire," and now you're just in the middle of something you weren't expecting, and you're fighting a horde, or you're looking for spare parts for the car. So it had like a really cool concept. It was just a cash grab at the end of the day, but like, let's be real, it's still probably better than Overkill's The Walking Dead, because that game was fucking terrible. That's the one made by the Payday motherfuckers. Yeah,
I forgot that game actually even exists
because it was awful.
Like, I remember seeing a trailer for it years before it came out, going like, "Huh," and then it came out, and I didn't hear about it at all.
Yeah, it was terrible. That's why.
I wasn't even aware it was a thing you could purchase until it had been out for like a year.
Yeah, that game was no bueno. But the Walking Dead Survival Instinct was definitely a fun game. Would I have said pre-order it back then? No. But if you get it like nowadays for like $10 or something, like it's fun. But it's probably delisted in most places.
I think we know the real zombie game, the real best zombie game.
Oh boy, I know what this is gonna be.
Is Zombie U for the Wii U.
Or when they ported it to PC, Zombie.
With just an I.
Just an I. They forgot the E.
Zombie U for the Wii U. Specifically the Wii U port.
Yeah, because on PC, it's actually pretty cool.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually like, it's neat. It's not like, it's definitely no 10 out of 10, but it's like, I don't know, probably like a solid 5 or 6.
Right.
It's like that Ubisoft special.
Speaking of zombie games, 7 Days 1.0 is actually like officially for real out.
Oh yeah?
I haven't played the official version, like the official update yet, but I just thought I would mention that. It came out, and I clicked just for the sake of checking. I clicked on the store page the day that 1.0 actually dropped. And I was like, and on that day, July 25th, there was a huge spike of negative reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's like objectively, I've talked about it before, it's like objectively a cash grab situation because the game is still not done.
Yeah.
The game's still not finished, and you're just pushing it to 1.0, despite the fact that it's not a 1.0.
Throwing a number on it isn't going to make it better.
Yeah, just because I got if I got the homework from the teacher and then I wiped my ass with it and called it done, that's still not a satisfactory completion of my homework, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do my times tables. I just straight shitted and dookied on the paper.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, if we're going to go by the logic that Fun Pimp seems to have with 1.0 being like the end-all, be-all, like this will make it good, wasn't there this other small, tiny, minuscule game that launched at like a 1.0 but was absolutely abysmal for like 2-3 years maybe until it hit like 2.0? I think they called it 2.0.
Oh, like a 2.0 sort
Yeah.
of? Like it was like a big kind of update that like revitalized a lot of...
And now the game is objectively excellent, but before it was objectively garbage.
Like before it was like you would just kind of clip through the map, or like game-breaking bugs would happen all the time.
Story pieces and things people wanted, like features people wanted were missing, like
just
romance
gone.
options and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they did like 2.0 and they put that stuff in.
And they did like 2.0, and it was like the greatest redemption arc in gaming history.
Yeah, next to like No Man's Sky. Yeah, it was like on that level. Yeah, there was this other small game. Like they were actually at PAX. I remember the developers. I saw them at PAX when I was there.
Oh yeah.
I was surprised they got to be there with how small they were. Actually. Yeah, it's a little game called Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Which also did a 1.0 that was awful. So.
But that was them rolling out a finished product. And to be fair, they actually put the story in the game before they pushed it to 1.0.
Yeah, I mean, there was still a story. It just
like
had some holes in it, but it was good.
These stupid motherfuckers at the Fun Pimps, they've been talking for years. Next update, we're getting bandits. Next update, we're getting bandits. Next update, we're getting story. Next update. Actually, no, this is like a 2 updates later thing. There's like another update later. Oh, next update, though. We got it. Next update. I remember watching them going over the bandits system in like 2017. They were like, this is what we have so far. This is probably going to, maybe not the next update, but the update after, we're going to push them out. They were supposed to be like Alpha 17. And they were like, no, maybe this is like an Alpha 18, 19 thing. And then they were like, no, this is like an Alpha 22 sort of thing. And now they're on 1.0. And there's still no bandits because they had to rework the skill system for the 43rd time.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. If you just locked in and just focused on adding features to the fucking game in the first place, this wouldn't be a problem. You would have had something to push to 1.0 years ago.
I'm just saying, if we can lock in for a weekend and make our video, they can add bandits to the game. They're infinitely more talented than either of us.
Send me the Unity project. Give me 2 weeks. I will add bandits to the fucking game.
The game's still built on Unity?
I think it's Unity, but they might have moved it to Unreal. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I'm going to say, if it's on Unity, that's dookie. But
Send me the project file. And all the assets I need. Give me 2 weeks. I will add the bandit system for you.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid, dude.
That's 100% man on my word. If that comes to fruition, I will do it, and it will be good.
Damn.
Put me on the 1.1 team.
Hell yeah.
I'll get that game done tomorrow.
Yeah, that's annoying. That is annoying. I don't know. Like, cash grabs are just fucking annoying.
If you just focused on the game and not whining and stomping your feet because the players are playing in the sandbox wrong.
Yeah.
You would have had a good game by now.
Yeah. An objectively good game. Yeah.
So.
Just saying, food for thought.
Food for thought. Food for the zombies.
Yeah.
I just don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore.
I gave you all I had.
Dutch.
The lid caught up. Why is the compass on my watch?
You gotta know what direction you're going.
I guess. My direction in life. But, yeah. Other than that, I got a new watch. So, that was the thing. It's a new one.
It's got a compass on it.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of shit, actually. I can do metabolic, they call them ages. It's like acylite generated something. It's basically your metabolism and your aging process.
Right.
It does that for tracking. It does fucking ECGs, a bunch of other shit. Like, the biggest thing, most important thing, I feel like, that was added is the Google Assistant doesn't suck balls anymore, and it's actually, like, very usable and very quick. So that's cool.
I see.
So, like, if I said, like, What's the temperature on Mars?
According to NASA science, the temperature on Mars can be as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, or as low as about minus 225 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 153 degrees Celsius, and because the atmosphere is so thin, heat from the sun easily escapes this planet.
Yep. Okay, so see, pretty quick. And then they added this pinch gesture, I guess, that Apple has. So like if you call me, I can double tap my fingers together and answer it.
Oh.
That's pretty neat. I can use that to pause music too.
Picturing you going in public, Google, take a picture of that guy's balls. Google, give me that guy's social security number right now.
Immediately. Yeah, it's better because for some reason, Android Auto, I don't know if it's the mic in my car, my radio, or my phone. Android Auto with Google Assistant, I'd be like, hey, you, do this. And it's like, did you say fairy tale? Maybe you said Tets Chris. Did you say Tets Chris or Test Chris? I don't know what to do.
Did you say launch every nuclear bomb directly to this location? Okay.
Yeah, that's what we heard. So using it on the watch, it's way more accurate for whatever reason. Although I think if I try to use it with Android Auto, it was fucking it up because I did it today on the way here to text you, and the watch wouldn't listen to me while Android Auto was connected. But with it disconnected, it worked. So I don't know if something's fucked with it.
I don't know what it is about Android Auto, but Android Auto, especially during the connecting process, absolutely tanks the usability of my phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, mine, if I happen to try to close an app as it connects, it just freezes for 5 seconds.
I don't know what processes are going on in the background to make that connection work, but we got to get some optimization on them.
Android Auto itself is just objectively bad, I feel like. I feel like it's just terrible. It sucks battery. The phone gets way too hot. What is it that is so terrible about just taking this and putting it on another screen? I can plug in a USB-C and use Samsung DeTs and it doesn't get hot. But then I hook up Android Auto wirelessly or wired and it's like, I'm cooking alive here, man.
I'm fucking dying.
What is it that's so fancy? It's not fucking monitoring my car. It's just a radio. I don't get it.
Because I can understand if the connection process itself is taxing, where it's like, okay, we have to establish a Bluetooth connection to this
and a Wi-Fi
machine and a Wi-Fi connection, and then we got to start the streaming process to stream this UI to the radio, right? I can understand that process, that startup process is like, okay, we're doing a lot right now.
Probably 100% utilization.
Yeah, you just gotta wait for a second, and then we'll be fine. But it's just to maintain that process, to maintain that connection. It's like It's like SpongeBob looking for his name in his brain.
Yeah,
that's what's going on. All the little pixies in your phone are running around going, "Oh my God, where's his name? Where's his name? Oh, you got to be kidding me! We threw out his name.
Where's the fifth core? Where's the fifth core? We're out of cores.
We're out of cores." Utilization on all cores, 100%.
101%. We're tanking.
110%. 150%. More power. More power. Blow up the battery.
Kill the user. Kill him. Kill him.
Blow up the user. Kill the user instantly.
Yeah, but on the topic of cores, actually, I forget the exact number, so don't quote me on this because I couldn't care less. But this watch feels snappier, and I believe I was informed that it's the first 5-core CPU on a watch. So
right,
and it does feel a lot snappier. Just doing things, it just responds. I don't know. So it's a good upgrade. I got it for $60 with a trade-in.
Just the prospect of having more.
What the fuck? That was my stomach, dude. Holy shit!
What happened to you, bro?
Oh, I'm hungry, I guess. What the fuck was that?
The prospect of having more computing power on your wrist than most people had for 95% of the history of computing, in their desktop computers is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts. Yeah, it's fucking insane. But yeah, I don't know. Between that and this is the first one I've ever used with always on display. So it has a clock. I went analog and everything.
Oh, I thought of all the things that would have an always on display, that would make sense would be the watch.
No, they all have them. But I never had good enough battery life to make me want to. But this is the first one I've been able to use, and it works good. Like, I went to bed with this at 10 o'clock last night. It's at 71. Granted, when you put it in sleep mode, it limits a lot of the functions, and of course the always on. But I've had it on the whole time. It tracked my sleep. It tracked everything. So it's tracking away, and the battery's pretty damn good so far. We'll see how that holds up. And then I like that the new watches. I had the 5. I think the 5 is where it started, but this one obviously does too. The sapphire display instead of glass is way fucking cooler because it does not scratch. Like the amount of smartwatches I've had and the amount of them that I've scratched. I had the Galaxy Watch 5 for 2 years. That was the or 2.5 years. That was the longest I had a smartwatch before like getting a new one. And it had not a speck on the screen with no screen protector. All my other watches had screen protectors and got fucked up like around the display immediately. Because all it takes is one instance of like working on your car, forget the watch is on, fucking hit the side of your car, boom, screen scratch because it's made of glass. This is sapphire, so I could basically slide it across the cement and it likely won't scratch. Like, so it's fucking nice. I like it. I like the sapphire a lot. So, and it's more cost effective to do it on a watch than it is to do it on a phone.
Well, yeah, it's only like that much glass.
Yeah, tiny little glass. But yeah, I don't know. I do dig it. I dig it. You got all your fucking widgets and shit. So if you're looking for a watch, Galaxy Watch 7 seems to be the good one. And apparently the Ultra, people are mad because the Ultra usually means it's Ultra. It has all the features that this one doesn't have. Turns out they kind of just branded it Ultra and gave it the same features. So you don't really have to get the Ultra unless you want it.
Right.
Oh, and it's double the price, the Ultra. So.
It's almost like that's like a lot of the Ultra branding. It's like you get maybe like a little extra. Maybe the screen's a little bigger. Maybe
like
a little extra camera or something.
The thing about the Apple Watch Ultra is like it actually was one of the first ones to kind of do something different. Like it added temperature sensors for when you're swimming. You can go swimming, it'll tell you what temperature the water is. It's got like a altibarometer, a bunch of shit like all built in. It's got I think it has the satellite calling, just like the new iPhones do, the satellite emergency calling. But specifically with Samsung, they added like dual frequency and dual band GPS to the watch. It's on the 7 and the Ultra. They added the fucking readings I was talking about, the sleep scores and all that. They added all those in like a new format on both. So like, just saying, it's not a ton with the Ultra that people are happy about.
You know what I saw that I think the new Google Pixel can do? It has like its own temperature sensor in there.
Like,
so you can put it up to a surface and it will just give you the temperature of that surface.
That's fucking cool.
Pretty neat. Because I'm a guy, I like data. I like looking at numbers and data.
Yeah.
So if I can just be like, all right, what's the temperature of Jordan's shirt right now? And just do that.
Yeah.
That could be kind of nice.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I'm a fan of more features. I don't care how useless they are or gimmicky. Just give me more. Like,
it's outstandingly useless. But
yeah, like, give me more features. Like, people who are like, well, that's just a redundant feature. Like, I'm paying the same price either way. Give me that feature. Like,
fair.
Like, it's the same thing with the live translate on the new earbuds. I can just put the earbud in. You can speak Spanish, and it will live translate back and forth between us. Like, sure, am I ever actually gonna probably use that? No. But why am I gonna turn down the feature when it comes with a price? Just give me the feature.
Yeah.
Because then the 1 or 2 times I do need it, I'm like, this is fucking awesome, you know? So, I don't know. Maybe it comes from the Android side of me where I just like that customization and like all those weird things you can do on Android. So, that's how I feel about features in general. Just give me more.
I just like having stuff because I feel like we've gotten far away from whimsy and gadgets in our lives. We just have like monoliths in our pockets now.
Yeah.
It's like this is not like a cool little gizmo anymore.
Yeah.
This is just a slab of glass.
Glass,
Fucking
lithium,
stupid, man.
and fucking
Hate.
Copper and hate. Yeah. More hate than anything. That's how I feel about like the PSP Go. I want to get the PSP Go because I feel like that would just bring me joy to have in my pocket. Imagine if I was just like, check out this PSP.
That's a gadget.
That's fucking
That's a
sick.
gizmo right
It's
there.
got a purpose. It does that purpose and nothing else well.
That's a silly little like whimsical little item.
Yeah.
There's no whimsy in cell phones anymore.
No, it's kind of why I wanted to get the Flip again because like that's the closest thing to whimsy.
That's pretty whimsical.
So,
but you know, I think the little extra features adds a little more whimsy to it. Where you could show, when I talk about whimsy in technology, I'm talking about something you could show your grandpa and go like, this is what my phone does now. And he'll go, wowie zowie.
So, I was thinking, our trip that we're taking, remember last year we took a whole big group trip and we had to take a picture and it was a whole hassle to do? Well, there's a new whimsy gadget in which I can do on here.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
I can do the fucking double tap and take the picture.
That's pretty neat.
So, whimsy gadgets, but also useful. That'll be perfect for when we inevitably take our giant
That's
group
neat and
photo.
whimsical.
Yeah. So, it comes with the asking price. That's all I got to say.
Fair.
But, yeah, that's all I've been up to. Some retro games, one which that made me want to kill myself. I did play a SpongeBob retro game, but I won't get into that too much. So, It was fun. It's a good SpongeBob game.
I see.
And it's one of the few I've played that has the original voice actors. And it's probably because it came out during Season 3, so they weren't very expensive to buy.
Fair.
And then every game that's succeeded that, they're like, no. Which, like...
I feel like Nickelodeon games could probably afford them, though.
Well, that, but also I just feel like if... I don't know. I respect the hustle, but I feel like if I was Tom Kenny and I loved the character as much as he claims to, I wouldn't particularly want anybody voicing them but me during my time on this earth. Like, I would want to participate in the games because...
Who do you think the best replacement voice actor for SpongeBob could be?
God, if I fucking know. I don't know if there is a good one, to be
I
honest.
was thinking Christopher Judge.
Oh, yeah, he's got a high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
Really high-pitched, actually. Like, annoyingly high-pitched. I think the worst one would probably be Atreus' actor because he has a super deep voice.
Christopher Judge. Or Roger Clark.
Roger Clark, yeah.
I'm SpongeBob.
Oh, Patrick, you fucking idiot.
I'm ready. Mr. Krabs, I gave you all I had.
I think my favorite thing about Roger Clark is he's Scottish, so he doesn't even sound like Arthur Morgan when he talks.
Me hearing his real accent, he's Irish. Hearing his real accent for the first time was like a jump scare.
Yeah, it is.
Like, why the fuck do you sound like that?
What is your problem? Irish American, yeah. I was gonna say it's Irish.
Why
He's
do
got
you
a strong
sound
accent.
like that?
Yeah, he's got a pretty strong accent when he talks, so he's a cool guy though.
Anyway, I think we done here.
Yeah, I think that's all. I think that's all she wrote. Watch that video. It was a good video. It's short. If you spare us 4 minutes of your time, please.
Please! We have nothing!
We are nothing. I can already tell this is going to be one of those videos, like the Cannibal Holocaust one. It's going to get like 3,000 views with like a retention of 30 seconds. Like, fuck!
Shit!
All we needed was 4 minutes.
It's going to be one of those videos where everyone's going to watch it and go... And then we're going to go, oh, that was only really funny to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, please just watch it. I think it's pretty funny. It's a little whimsical.
Please! We have nothing!
And we worked really hard to keep that as a short video. We understand not wanting to watch us for 20 minutes, even though here we are at an hour. But we made it short on purpose. So short, sweet, and to the point. Kind of like me. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan, remind the people where you can find this thing.
As always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify Podcast, and the RSS feed, all linked below. There's also YouTube and Spotify, the video platform YouTube, which has that video I mentioned earlier. That's about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't know, I'm just throwing that number out. There's 4 minutes long. Watch it. Okay, motherfucker. And contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send us your comments, questions, concerns, death threats. Most importantly, Little Kitty Bid City photos, and if you have anything to say about the video, if you do watch it. It's also Instagram, TikTok. You can reach out to us there. And, yeah, that's about it. You'll find us here every 2 weeks, every 2 Wednesdays. Not the first Wednesday, but the second Wednesday.
Yes.